Hi, I'm Sue Mills. I'm an indie author writing character-driven love stories set in New England. I'm so glad you've joined Donna and me as we discuss all things bookish.
Hey y'all, I'm Donna Madden. I am the author of sweet yet spicy small town romance. It's great to have you. Come on in and take a seat.
Welcome to Indie Authors Uncovered. I'm Sue Mills, and I'm going to be speaking tonight with Donna Madden, my counterpoint. And because we're a week before Christmas, we're going to do a review of the book, The Bright Side of Christmas. And I am going to have Donna hold that up. That's much better. Mine is on my phone. So hi, Donna. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Sue?
I'm good.
Are you settled back in from your big trip?
I've settled back in better from this one than I did from the Las Vegas trip. I don't know why, because this was a more relaxing trip. Right. That's probably why. Vegas was go, go, go all the time. And this was a lot of sitting by the pool. It was very enjoyable, and we would like to go back. We thought it would be a one and done trip because it's a long day to get to Hawaii, but we really liked it. So.
Oh, wow.
Maybe in the future we'll go again.
So is it a place that everyone needs to go at least once?
If you like beaches, if the lush landscape, the green mountains and nice beaches, I would say yes. I think if that's not your cup of tea, then maybe not. One of my brothers went there on a honeymoon back in 2011, and he said people asked them, why didn't you go to a Caribbean island? Because that's such an easier trip. And it's kind of the same vibe. You'd get the lush landscape, the nice beaches. The people were extremely friendly. We really liked that. Cool. Really, really nice. And you're winding down for the school vacation. Are the kids wired?
2 more days. Yes. Okay. We have exams tomorrow and Thursday, and then off for 2 weeks. So that'll be nice.
Yeah. I bet.
Wait.
Yeah. All right. So should we dive into?
I say we do it. Let's get started.
All right. I made a list of my cons and pros of the book. For the most part, I really enjoyed it a lot. So let's talk about it a little bit. The tropes that I saw in it was Grumpy Sunshine, and she promotes it as a Grumpy Sunshine.
Yes.
And then and she also does forced proximity.
Forced proximity. Yeah, there's a snowstorm and they end up, her heat goes out. So,
So there is for the,
it's a little weak, forced proximity in my opinion, but
right.
It's there.
I thought it had a bit of friends to lovers too, because they kind of were, or maybe enemies to lovers, because he was,
I'd say
crazy about her at the beginning. Yeah. So the story basically is about a woman they live in a little town called Holly Ridge, which I liked the naming.
It is cute. Mm-hmm.
Very appropriate for a Christmas book. And she is in charge of the town-wide Christmas festival. And she has a neighbor move in who is very anti-Christmas. So that's kind of without spoiling it, that's kind of the major plot of the book.
Right. I agree.
So one of my first cons, and I wonder if you thought this as well, was we found parts of it repetitive. I felt like he said the same thing to her so many times. And that bothered me. Like, not taking on so much, and you're doing too much, and you should go to bed earlier, and that kind of thing.
Was like the main conflict, was that she takes on too much, and he was trying to make her realize that she needs to put herself first.
Right.
You know,
there just was one section that I went through and I'm like, oh my God, okay, she should have gotten the message by now.
Well, I think of this like the Hallmark Christmas movies. What and that's how I read Christmas books. What would this be like on Hallmark as a movie? There wouldn't be much to it. That's the only thing. There wouldn't be much to it because you don't see, you see the bar, which seems like a really cute bar. You see some of the town, but you see her house and his house. And like you said, the same conversation.
Right.
But with that said, I enjoyed her.
I did too.
I enjoyed him. I thought he was sweet yet gruff at the same time.
Right.
And then of course, when we found out what his background was, that's always sexy and fun. And he was just I loved his character. He was fun. He told her like she needed to hear, but then he was sweet at the same time. Whereas she was a little prissy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, the ribbon in her hair, and she was always perfectly. I'm like, okay. But I liked her. I mean, she was a go-getter. She was she loved her little town. If you think of small town romance, you always think of that one person who's all about that town.
Right.
She's that person.
I read 4 books while I was away. This was one of them. And in 2 of the books, the main female character literally knew how to do nothing of day-to-day life. One of them was a doctor, an emergency room doctor, and she was very, very, very wealthy. Her parents were also doctors, so very wealthy. And they lived in a huge mansion of a house. And she was 38 years old, and she didn't know like what a broom was, or she knew nothing, absolutely nothing. And then I read another one that the main female character was 25, also very rich, and she was a harp player, and she was a prodigy, and her mother had sheltered her. She hadn't been to school. She hadn't been to college. She was like her mother's little toy type thing. So she has no idea about money. She gets rescued, so to speak, by a hockey player who falls in love with her. And he takes her and moves her away, and she goes to school. But he pays all her bills. He does everything for her because she has no idea how to live. So I liked Ren because Ren was very independent. She lived on her own. Right. She knew how to do things. After reading those other 2 female characters, because they were annoying to me, frankly.
Right. But then there's Ren who doesn't know how to say no.
Exactly.
She did too much. But but outside of that, I loved her best friend.
So did I.
Hallie. Yep. Was that her name? Hallie?
Hallie, yep.
And then when we meet Ren's brothers, I like them, and I already know what the next book's going to be. Hallie and one of her brothers are going to hook up. I just see that. But
yes, I think you're right. I liked
a best friend's brother. My sister's best friend, that type of thing. So
I liked the brothers, although I have 4 brothers, and I have to say, none of them were ever protective of me. So it was like, man, how nice that might have been.
It is a book. It's fiction. That's why we read, right?
Yeah, exactly. I found when you said you liked the main character, Adam, I wrote down, I was writing notes, and I wrote caring, because I found him very caring, and I liked that. Mm-hmm. And then I was going through some, it's like, but also overbearing, because he really did hammer on her. So I thought that was kind of an interesting juxtaposition.
And it's interesting though when, and this isn't a spoiler, it's just something that happens. He gets sick in the book. He gets a cold, and she takes care of him, and that just throws him off because his parents were surgeons, and he was, they weren't loving is what I got. They were all about their job.
That was something I made a note of too, that he had never been taken care of before.
Right. And that,
I liked that.
Then, Ren comes from a stereotypical family. Mom and dad been married forever. She had her grandma who was very close to her and her family, and she was very loved and cared for and all that. So I think we could also add a trope, found family, because he found a family that he never really understood.
That's true. That's true. Because he
his
kind of
family
did
was
bond with the brothers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, the mom made him soup.
Yeah. Yeah.
She came over and made him soup. So that was sweet.
So speaking about mentioning the grandmother, there was a big coincidence that came to light toward the end of the book. And I wondered what you thought of that. And the reason that I say that is because I may have mentioned this before. I worked with a couple of women authors as critique partners for a year. And they said you can't have more than, I don't know, 2 coincidences in a book or something like that. And I don't know. I don't know if there were any other coincidences. I thought that was a big coincidence. I don't have a problem with coincidences.
I thought it was sweet. I thought it added, because you always are looking for that something. This is romance. You have to have that something to bring them closer together. That sweet moment. I mean, there's a lot of that, but I really liked that because her grandma was big. And so just that issue, that really opened her eyes a little bit more. Because I can't say much about that without spoiling, but her grandmother was a big part of her life, and that helped her to open her eyes to some things.
Right. So what about it was also a surprise twist that I did not see coming at all for Adam toward the end of the book.
At the bar?
That surprised me at the bar.
That was neat.
No, this was when he finds out something's been going on with his...
When he made a phone call to somebody.
With his work. Yes. I did not see that coming.
No. And that irritated me. I was very mad. I was like, okay. But, and this is my romance part of me. Because of that, and then he started doubting things. This is going to be hard to say without doing any spoilers. And then you find out about the grandma and the little coincidence there.
Right.
I'm like, oh, they were meant to be.
Right. One of the things I did like was that he moved to this town where he knew nobody. He was having, he was not, I can say he's not a writer, but he was experiencing writer's block, basically.
Right.
And he moved there to try to hope that it would bring something loose. And as an author, I have dreamt of doing such a thing. How nice it would be to go somewhere and have a week. I don't want to move away, but it would be so nice to have a week where there wasn't anybody else around.
Just something happens to spark the creativity again.
Yeah. I liked that. So we have talked about this a little bit. I thought my note said very ample use of the F word. I
know you said that. The F word didn't pop out at me. Unless they were doing things.
Yeah. I don't have a problem. I mean, my characters use that word. I use that word in my personal life. But there was a section where I was like, oh my goodness, he is using that a lot. I thought they probably could have cut out half of those, and It wouldn't have hurt the book at all.
Was he angry with somebody?
No, he just more or less used it
Oh,
as an expression. Yeah,
See,
yeah.
that didn't jump out at me, so I don't know about that because I don't know. It didn't jump. I just opened it up and was flipping through, and there's a couple of them, and I'm like, but I don't know. You have me intrigued. I'll have to look again.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, this is romance, and we know that romance has many different levels and types. This is small town. It's Christmas, but it's not closed door.
No,
It's
no, no, no,
not
no.
fade to black.
Not in the least.
So, if you're a romance person and you read steamy, spicy books, what would you rate this? Because, and I'll tell you, I go into most small town romance thinking that there's going to be spice, open door spice on the page. I do that. That's what I write. But I'm not offended, and I don't feel cheated if it's not there.
Right.
I go into Christmas books not expecting spice on a page because it's a Christmas book. Think of Hallmark. There's no spice in Hallmark. There's no F-bombs in Hallmark. Maybe
Heck,
that's
they don't
why the
even kiss
F-bomb
until the last 30 seconds in a Hallmark movie.
That's why I don't watch many Hallmark movies.
Yeah, yeah.
But what was your thought on the spice?
In my notes, I had sex is hot. So I thought it was a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, my books are pretty explicit when they have a sex scene, but it takes up maybe 3 pages in a chapter. And this was the first time they're together. It was an entire chapter. And then I think it was another chapter.
Yeah. And, and the words.
Yeah.
I'm all about a hot, spicy sex scene, but it's the words that they use.
Uh-huh.
And the description.
Yeah.
And the pillow talk or lack thereof a pillow. Most of the times, I don't think they ever did anything in the bed. But, I'm like, okay, I don't use the word, as descriptive as this. My scenes are getting pretty spicy, but like I've been told, they're tasteful and like you, a page or 2.
Yeah.
And I might have two scenes in a book.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
Yeah. I have wondered in my own books, am I putting in too much? Should I cut this? And sometimes I'll be writing along. It's like, okay, do I need to have another one, or am I done?
Right.
And is it logical that would happen here?
See, and that's what I do. Does that scene, does it enhance the story, or is it just thrown in? If I think it's just thrown in, I take it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, most of them were good. Most of them were good. They weren't too, the word was a lot. It was really explicit, but they weren't too much, except for one.
And which one would that be?
That would be the epilogue.
Yeah.
The epilogue, without spoilers, it was a really sweet part, and then an outrageously, in my opinion, not necessary. It wasn't necessary. It didn't enhance the book, that last sex scene.
Right.
It did not enhance the plot or anything.
Right. And then she split. She had a scene change and went to 2 years later, which she addressed something that had been a central theme throughout the book.
Yes.
And gave it, what we figure, half a page.
Not even.
Yeah.
Not even. And I mean, that could have been an awesome 2 years later. They're married. She's excited because she's a part of his world now,
Yes.
And it's honestly, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8.5 lines, really.
Yeah. Yeah. And that could have been, there could have been so much more about that. So I was disappointed in that. I did like the sweetness part of the epilogue. She could have done like maybe 2 epilogues. I read a book recently that had like epilogue 1 and epilogue 2.
Yeah, and I've heard them called epilogue 1 and bonus epilogue. Yeah,
right. Yeah,
I totally agree. But I mean, it didn't. So the epilogue was sweet, but a lot of it didn't add to the book.
Yeah, no, not really, not really. And I actually, when I got to the epilogue and what they do in the epilogue, I had forgotten that she had told him it was something she wanted to do.
Right. Me too.
Yeah, because it was like such a fleeting moment.
Right. Me too. Right. Maybe that should have been more her need to travel. Maybe should have been talked up more, but she was always giving for other people in this small town and never left, Yeah. Maybe that's how it should have been done. Yeah. But of course, if you're looking for a small town, you get a cute small town with the Christmassy vibes. I mean, I've only read like a handful of Christmas stories, but they all have the same small town. There's people, someone's all into Christmas, and there's always someone who's not. You get that. And it's a cute small town. It has a bar. What is it with every small town having a bar?
Yeah, really.
Because mine do also. Mine have Jerry's Pub. This one has a bar.
And my books all have, several of them are set in Boston and they have a pub they go to. And then several of them are set right on the border of New Hampshire and Vermont. And there's a bar they go to. And my prequel that I wrote, that's a giveaway, there's a bar in that one. So yeah, you got to have a gathering place.
You're right, you do, and I guess it's the bar. And but the bar was cute. And of course, there's a cute bartender. He seems pretty cute, so he's going to need his own story, I think, also. Yeah. And then of course, her best friend needs her own story. So I think we might be coming back to Holly Ridge more than once. And I did look on Amazon, and there is a book 2 coming out. Now, I got my book on TikTok from her on TikTok. And it's signed. It's a signed copy.
Oh, nice.
Now, I guess that leads us all to what would you rate it and why?
Do we want to talk about...
We discussed ratings. Do what? I'm sorry.
Do you want to talk about the typo or error that we found?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this was perfect because last week we talked about ratings and some things that people say that brings down their ratings. There's a pretty big, I don't know if it's a typo or just a mistake. It's a mistake.
Yeah. It's not a typo.
It's not a typo. It's a mistake. And it's chapter 17. I keep putting my bookmark. Oh, there's my bookmark. See, I got a cute bookmark with it too.
Oh, that is cute.
But it's chapter 19. Every chapter has, like most dual POV, it has a thing and then Ren or Adam. And of course, that tells you whose POV that chapter's in. One great thing about first person. Chapter 19 says Adams. It's supposed to be an Adams POV, but it's not. Chapter 19 says Adam, but you can see I crossed out and put Ren. Yeah. It is Ren's POV. And I was just, going on and reading, and I said, okay, 19 Adam, and I was reading, I was like, wait a minute. The first line says, what are you doing tonight? Adam calls across our lawn. And I was like, if this is Adam's POV, it would be I call across the lawn. Right. So I stopped and I looked, made sure it was Adam, read some more. I was like, no, this is Ren speaking. Yep. So I got my pen, crossed out Adam, put Ren, and kept on going. Right. So that was the big thing. Right. Did it hurt my opinion of the book? Absolutely not. Yeah. I kept on going. Right. So I have it on Kindle and or on the Kindle app because I don't actually have a Kindle.
And I read either on my iPad or my phone. And I read this one all on my phone, and I didn't even notice that. So,
Okay.
When you mentioned it, it was like, well, maybe that was an early print copy, and somebody's
Right.
pointed it out to her, and my ebook copy would be corrected. But no, it's the same in my ebook copy. So it's been out there for a while, and evidently nobody has pointed that out
let's
to
find
her.
out. When has it been out since?
I think it's a 2025.
Yeah, it's this year.
Yeah. So it probably came out maybe October, November.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
So my book is the sixth book. I put chapter headings on I name my chapters. I like name chapters. So I do that when I'm formatting it. I don't do it as I'm writing it. So I did it for one of the chapters, the second chapter, as a matter of fact. And I got my proof copy. I was away. My daughter opened it up, showed it to me. And I'm like, okay, the cover looks good. And, the interior looks okay. And so I ordered my copies, my physical copies. I ordered 100, which is a lot more than I usually order. I usually order 25 or 50, but I was doing a big book launch. And so I ordered 100. And I think I ordered them while I was away. I got home and I picked up the proof to look at it. And it's like, oh my gosh. So I don't know if people can see that or not.
Hold it up
but
some. Okay, there you go.
It? Yeah.
Yes.
So the chapter is Tropical Temptations, and I left out the P.
Yep.
So I immediately went on Amazon and fixed it. And I thought, okay, it's only been like 12 hours since I ordered them. It should be okay. No, 100 copies with it wrong. So I know that kind of stuff happens. And
right. And, and I think as a reader, like I said, I figured it out and I moved on. It took me a paragraph. Well, it took me a line to make it jump out at me. And then I just read a paragraph or two and realized, okay, it's Ren. Cross it out, put Ren, moved on.
Right.
It's not going to affect my rating at all.
Right.
And I sure wouldn't put it in a review. I might contact her. Right. And I thought about doing that. And I can't do it on TikTok. She has like too many followers. It'll go to spam. But I can email her. And I might just tell her, hey, and I'll link our podcast to that. And just let her know that, I noticed this and did you know? Maybe like you, she has so many, she just has to deal with it right now, get through them. Right. Maybe she's already changed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be.
Right.
Because I can tell you, this came from Ingram Spark.
Okay.
It's not an Amazon. It's an Ingram Spark copy. And I know, like me, I just got 100 books from Ingram Spark for my new release because at 100, you get a discount.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yes, they just started that this year. And this is a Lightning Source copy, which is Ingram Spark independent publisher is what we get them from. So maybe she probably purchased enough to get the discount and now she just has to get rid of them,
Right.
So, but it doesn't hurt my ratings.
Yeah.
My rating at all. But.
I would rate it probably between 4.5 and 5. I enjoyed it. It kept my interest. I did start it, and then I think I put it down for a few days. We were traveling, and then I picked it up again, and I enjoyed it. Okay. The characters were good. The town was nice, like you said. Anything that I didn't like was not enough for me to downgrade my rating of it.
There you go. And I enjoyed it. Like I said, I thought Adam was wonderful. I liked her. I thought she was a cute little girl. She was cute. She was a cute teacher. She was an elementary teacher, and I could picture her an elementary teacher because she did all the cute stuff, and she was all. And I'm a high school teacher, and you don't dress cute and you don't do extra. It's high school. You're lucky just to get, have your class wait while you're talking to them, And so I could see her as an elementary. I think they said second grade, or I think it
was second grade. Yeah.
And I love that. I love the town. It's a town that, doesn't really exist, which is why I love small town. And my only issue was that last sex scene. It didn't add to the story at all in the epilogue. It was not necessary. It was the sweetest part of the book. We finally got what we wanted. And to me, that just was thrown in. Mm-hmm. And then the very ending, like we already said, I really wish that part, because we've been waiting for him to get that big moment. Yeah. I wish that was more. Yeah. So I would probably, of course, we can't do 0.5s. Right. If I could do a 0.5, I'd give it a 4.5. Yeah. But if, when I rate it on Amazon and Goodreads, I have to give it a 4. Yeah. Because I'm really, I like to make sure, in my opinion, that sex has a purpose and isn't just thrown in for, to get that next chili pepper, Right. And I really feel that last scene was thrown in for that chili pepper.
Yeah. I don't think I can think of a book that I've read where the epilogue has a sex scene. Right. They are generally, wrapping up, giving you that extra little happy ending. Exactly. So, yeah.
I have to agree. So, I'll be giving it a 4, not because of anything negative except for that. And I enjoyed it. I will read more of her books.
Yeah, me too.
Because it was a quick, it took me a week to read. Maybe 2 weeks, I guess, which is not me. I should read a book in 2 or 3 days, but it's Christmas break time. I've been spending my time grading and doing all my extras, plus getting my own book out. So I haven't been able to spend my time reading like I want. Right. So 2 weeks is a long time for me to take to read a book. But I can tell you, when I wasn't reading it, I had the people in my mind.
Yeah. That's the mark of a good book to me. The characters that stay with you.
So I enjoyed it, and I wanted to get back to it. Yep. And so it's a solid 4 for me. If I could do a point something, it would be a 4.5. Maybe I'll put that in my review.
Yeah, because you can always write that in the review.
Yeah, I'll put it that it's a 0.5. My reviews won't have any spoilers. I'll just say what I liked about it and keep it simple, 3 or 4 sentences. A little bit too spicy for me. I might not even put that in there. I think that's silly because I have some people who say that. But I'll figure something out so that way people know why it's a 4, not a 5. But it's a good, solid book. It's a cute Christmas read. It's a cute small town. The characters are likable. The side characters are a lot of fun. I hope they get their own book. And yeah, I will be reading more Morgan Elizabeth.
Yeah. Yep. I enjoyed it too. So next week, our podcasts come out on Thursday, and next week is Christmas on Thursday. We are going to have a podcast ready. We'll probably release it Christmas Day. So if you are looking for something to do when everything has wound down on Christmas night, I always find that kind of a letdown for me. Tune in. We're going to reflect on the year. We're going to talk about our wins and losses for 2025.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm excited about that. And I hope you all have a Merry Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate, and that you will like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, because we're trying to build this up, and we want to hear from you. We want to know what you think.
Absolutely. Yes. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Whatever you celebrate, enjoy, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Indie Authors Uncovered, brought to you by Small Fry Marketing, your single source for affordable marketing solutions. Visit us at smallfrymarketing.com.